Hey everybody, let's go to Fort Wayne, Indiana. Yes, Fort Wayne, Indiana, where the police officer rescued the two doggies. Look at that. The two dogs, these smart dogs, they're so smart that they jumped into an icy pond. And allegedly, a 911 call brought the officer to pull these dogs out of the pond because the caller saw a black object in the middle of the pond. That's very curious to me because the where they pulled the dog out of the pond, it's like the dogs are in a spot where they couldn't have really gone anywhere else. It kind of seems set up. But I don't know. I wasn't there. But wherever we find the people that love dogs, those are the best people, right? If you love dogs, then you must be a good person. Let us look at the comments. Hmm. It's funny how the dogs listen to instructions better than most people. Most people don't jump into frozen ponds and then have to call the police. Most people are being pulled over by the police for being like drunk drivers or doing other crimes. So this doesn't even apply. Look at the way people talk about the dogs. These dogs were more compliant. Well, of course they were. They screwed up. They jumped into a frozen pond. The police officer spoke the language of a true doggy dad. Huh? What? Okay. The officer is definitely a doggo daddy. Hmm. This is just weird. This doesn't this doesn't smell right. This doesn't pass the smell test. The way that these dogs just follow the police officer to his car like they knew him, it kind of seemed like this was set up. So, I don't know. But hey, it's like they say, people that love dogs over there in Fort Wayne, Indiana, those must be the good people, right? Right? Oh, wait, what's this? Fort Wayne, Indiana? In Indiana, it's full of child porn, sex trafficking, and all kinds of stuff like that that targets kids and puts kids through the nastiest kind of tortures and abuse that you can think of. Indiana teens in child trafficking, prostitutes, pimps, undercover agents bust prostitution, child prostitution, prostitution warrant, a spa that had child prostitution. Hmm. Indiana State Police arrest Auburn man on child molestation charges. Sex offenders at Indiana home, child predators. Fort Wayne, Indiana man charged with child molestation. Hmm. Fort Wayne man arrested of raping an Auburn girl. Fort Wayne priest accused of sexually abusing a child. So they're going out of their way to save all these pupper doggos. Meanwhile, they're not going to worry about their kids that are being raped, molested, and trafficked. Hmm. So I'm not sure if the dog loving people are actually the best people. Oh, what's this? Another recent story. This one from January 29th, 2024. More human trafficking. Well, at least they're going around saving dogs. Don't worry about your kids that are being trafficked into um, prostitution and sex crimes. Run around and worry about your dogs that made a stupid choice to run into a frozen pond. These kids did not make a choice to be abused. And our infrastructure, our police, our EMS, our parents, our fellow humans, all of the establishments, the churches, the retail outlets, the dog outlet places that groom and provide services for dogs, they're all absent minded when it comes to their kids being treated like this because they're too busy spoiling dogs. So, what's going on in Indiana with all these people being killed or shot or beaten? Fort Wayne, Indiana, woman found dead. Gang members. What? A loose pit bull killed. killed somebody. Oh, so you're letting dogs kill people while you run around saving dogs from ponds. Okay. Stabbing death, murder, another killing, a shooting. Look at all these things going on in Indiana. A fire that killed 4 children. Okay, you're not putting effort into doing fire prevention to save kids, but you're running around saving dogs? Okay, all right. Police involved crash. Oh, what? Police? The police chased somebody and then someone ended up dying? Well, at least you went around and saved some dogs to make yourself look good. It seems to me that the more we look at any kind of municipality, city, state, country that spoils dogs, the price that has to be paid is their fellow humans have to be murdered and killed and burned in fires. Like, if dogs want to jump into a frozen pond, you know, like the meme says, I trust dogs more than I trust humans. Hey, they wanted to jump into the pond, leave them alone. Go solve some issues for your fellow humans. Is there any reason why anybody would go out of their way to make dogs look good, to make dogs and police officers look good? Yes, because police dogs often tear up little kids. There are thousands and thousands of stories of kids being torn up by police dogs, and we sweep it under the rug and nobody talks about it. Yet, if a police officer saves 2 dogs, it becomes a national story. I did a keyword search on the internet about the Fort Wayne police officer that saved these 2 Labrador retrievers. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stories. Like, why do they need to tell this story so much? Why can't they just put it on their police officer website and say, hey, we saved a couple dogs in an icy pond. You citizens need to get your dogs on a leash and quit letting them go into the pond. Simple, to the point, stop letting your dogs go into the pond because they might die. No, they don't do that. Instead, it's a nationwide propaganda story of, oh my God, look at the doggies that got saved. And they are so much better than the other assailants that get pulled over. So this is like propaganda. I'm not even sure that those dogs actually went into the pond by themselves. It kind of seems to me like they were thrown in that pond and then the officer went and saved them so the Indiana police could look good. And is there any reason why police in general would need to use dogs to go out of their way to make themselves look good? Yeah, because police officers run into kids with their cars. They're saving dogs from frozen ponds, but at least, the fact that they run into kids with their cars. I'll put some of these links in the description. Some of these are double, and I apologize for that. But police accidentally hit kids with their cars, and they just sweep it under the rug. Now, if a police officer hit a dog or shot a dog that was attacking him, it would be a scandal. The neighbors would ask for that police officer to be thrown into the throat of a volcano. But if a police officer hits a kid, they'll just be like, whatever. As long as the police officer saved a few dogs, we'll just let the police officer slide. And that's the kind of world that police officer lives in. The police officer that, in any of these stories, the police officer that hit a little kid and then lied about it, link will be in the description. They live in a society that people just kind of deitize dogs and put kids lower and lower. So you as a society are incentivizing police to make themselves look good by rescuing dogs. Meanwhile, they're hurting children. In Indiana, they will do a story like this. Oh my God, we rescued all these puppies. Yet meanwhile, they got all kinds of sex trafficking and child porn going on in the background. Like, look at us, we're good. We're good government agencies. We're good police officers because we rescued dogs. Yeah, we got a bunch of children being pushed into pornography and sex trafficking, but don't worry about that. Just focus on the fact that we rescued a bunch of dogs. So, yeah, wherever you find dog worship, you find children being abused and neglected. It's easily provable. Just think if we put this type of effort into our fellow humans and children in our society.
Come on, guys. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Good boys. Good boys. Come on. Come on. You go bye-bye. Let's go. Come on. Come on, let's go.
It's pretty funny how those dogs follow him right to the car like they knew him, like almost like they were his dogs. This whole thing seems very set up. But still, it would be nice to see people treating each other the way that this police officer treats these dogs. He calls them good boy for jumping into a pond. I think they were being good boys for playing along with this little scenic propaganda maneuver. That's just my opinion. But what do you guys think? Do you think that we are treating dogs just like gods? And do you think that the price that we pay is treating our fellow humans and children worse and worse? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.